Like the title says, Baki is the wildest and the most ridiculous anime I've ever watched by far, gang. You can't tell me that the writers are not having fun with their story. Like, this story is ridiculous. The story on Baki is pretty easy to follow. Baki is a fighter. He's working to be the best fighter in the world. He been fighting his whole life pretty much. And his motive for this is just to get revenge on his dad. What beef would he have with his dad, you might ask? Well, it's only because Yujiro used to abuse him and his mother because he was disappointed with Baki's progress as a fighter. Also abused Jack and his mother as well. Yeah, two different mothers, by the way. And I don't know, he probably because he killed this nigga mom just so he can hate them, just so he can hate him and get stronger. Maybe. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. Nigga Yujiro's a menace, bro, and we're gonna talk about him more in the next section for sure. I haven't watched Baki the Grappler yet, but don't worry, I plan on watching it very soon. I just want to cover the newer series today, because I remember this is what I started with first. So the story is broken up into a few arcs, and we're gonna talk a little bit about each one. First arc is the prisoner arc, and this shit comes out funny as hell. So the 5 deadliest prisoners in the world were released: Dorian, Doyle, Yanagi, Speck, and Sikorsky. Bro, all these niggas were on death row and about to get executed, and they all just escaped because they felt like it. Like, they could have escaped at any time, but they all escaped at the same time. This nigga Dorian was getting hung, and literally, he got hung. He hung there for 10 minutes. And after the physician declared him dead, the execution would technically be over. But this nigga put the stethoscope up to Dorian's neck, and he heard a heartbeat, and this nigga Dorian just hits the fucking Shawn Michaels kip up, and it smokes every nigga in the vicinity. And when they come back to check, every nigga is like hung. Like, every single one of the niggas in the room was hung. For Doyle's in the electric chair. He's getting shocked to death. He got shocked to death, quote unquote. And then he gets his ass right back up and smokes everyone in the vicinity. Once again, this nigga Sikorsky free climbed out of a smooth wall, 100-meter prison tower. Speck literally snatched his counselor by the neck, took this nigga's gold tooth out of his mouth, and accidentally mangled this nigga's face in. And then in the process, he swims out of a 200-meter deep submarine prison. He swam up 200 meters. He said he could hold his breath for 5 minutes. So you see the ridiculous shit I'm talking about, right? Just checking. This nigga Yanagi, I think this is my favorite one out of the 5, the favorite scene of them escaping. So Yanagi's sitting in this glass bulletproof box, and he's drawing, and he's like writing or something. And then one of the guards, he looks at the guard across the room looking at him. He gets up and he asks this guard this question. He said, "I got a question for you. What's the deadliest gas in the world?" And then he starts walking towards the glass, and he puts his hand on the glass. He breaks through the bulletproof glass, and then he asks him the question again. These niggas are terrified right here, by the way. And granted, I mean, they got this nigga in the box for this reason. I'd be scared too. He asked him, "What's the deadliest gas in the world?" And he said, "This." Blew in this nigga ear, fucking blew his brains out the other ear for it. Bro, these niggas are different in this show. I fucking love this show, man. When all of them escaped at the same time, they all left a message that said, "I want to taste defeat." Meaning that they coming to Tokyo to fight. And guess who they coming to fight? This nigga Baki. And the niggas around Baki too. This arc is really funny, my nigga. You never know what's gonna happen. You got niggas like Speck shooting himself in the fucking mouth several times just to show niggas that bullets won't work. Dorian putting his fist in that fucking grease and rolling his fist in glass and getting ready to fight. And then he told that nigga, "It's your turn." Like, that's how grease works. And this nigga singing this shit, beating people's ass. Also, this nigga Yujiro was lurking in Baki bedroom. He was about to bust down his girl Kozue. And this nigga just sitting in the back like, yeah, fuck him. Make him a man. Make him stronger. Like, bro, can I get some privacy, nigga? You weird motherfucker. The fights in this arc funny as hell too. Like, you gotta have, if you have any kind of sense of humor, you're gonna love this arc. The comedy in this show is like top notch. The next arc is the funny ass Raitai tournament. Bro, niggas getting their faces torn off. Niggas getting crushed to a goddamn Dippin' Dot. This arc was great. Oliver fights here. Yujiro fights here. Kaya Resu fucking running through that water. It's so hard that he's staying above it. Baki still getting bitched by his dad. These authors goofy as fuck, man. Like, I don't know. It's a lot to this arc. I'm just making it sound really simple. But they're having fun with their source material, bro. You're gonna enjoy every moment of this. That fucking sugar water thing, like Baki's sick and like he's losing his muscle, but he drinks like 14 kilograms of sugar water and now he gets his muscles back and his body rejuvenated and shit. Bunch of stupid shit, man. They really like adhere to my stupidity in this show and I fuck with it. The next little sub arc is the Muhammad Ali Jr. thing. And this was funny as hell. It's literally a bunch of niggas beating Muhammad Ali Jr. ass. Like, it may seem like he was winning at first, but they weren't taking the fight seriously, his opponents. So he got served up by Shibukawa, Dopo Orochi. He got absolutely mutilated and embarrassed by Jack. And then he got beat up by his dad after. But Jack beating was by far the worst. It was pretty bad. And I'm like, damn, bro. It was this moment where like Jack was admiring a nigga after he like knocked him down. He beat him up and he looked at that nigga. He was like, not enough. He just started stumping this nigga's face in, dog. Like, Jesus Christ, dog. And not only did Jack like serve his ass up in the most disrespectful way, folks, his dad told him to lace up when this nigga was on crutches. And he said no excuses and started beating the shit out of him. And I ain't gonna lie, fuck Muhammad Ali and Kozue. Kozue weird as fuck for even entertaining that, in my opinion. But Kozue ain't all bad. The next arc is the most recent one that came out, is the prison arc. And this arc is definitely the funniest to me because niggas are just doing shit in this arc. Like, this show is so unpredictable. So this nigga Baki wants to get thrown in the most dangerous prison in the country. I think it's Arizona State Prison. So this nigga commits this heinous crime. He just kidnaps the fucking president. So he wants to go to this prison to fight Oliver. And he gets his wish. Niggas up here getting pissed on. Niggas up here breaking shit in niggas' ears, making them lose balance for the rest of their lives. Niggas trying to kill Mike Tyson. Oliver fight the number 2 guy in prison, but before he carries this big ass white bitch on this Alaskan King mattress so she could watch him fight. Hey Oliver, why you got that mattress on top of the mattress? What you say about my girl, little bro? Nothing big dog. I'm sorry. I ain't mean it, sir.
I apologize for my outburst.
Oliver has this super grand ass fight with Baki that's extremely entertaining and a must watch for show. Like, this arc was really good. I think this is the funniest arc by far because it's like they get more and more ridiculous. And like, don't get me wrong, niggas was like blowing fire at niggas because of like drinking alcohol and then just spitting fire at niggas in like the 3rd episode or some shit. Like, Dorian was doing stupid shit the 3rd episode. This show gets more and more ridiculous, and I can't wait to see what they come up with in the next arc. I can't wait. Now let's move on to characters and character interaction. This show is about Baki's path to becoming the #1 fighter, but Baki isn't the only interesting character in the actual show. There's a lot of niggas in this show that I fuck with. Bunch of side characters: Yujiro, Kairetsu, Spec, Dorian, Guvera, Oliver, and they're all very unique and extremely entertaining. I want to talk about a few of them. Kairetsu is really cool. He's really serious until he's not. If you know, you know. I'm probably gonna play this scene a couple times in this video. This scene funny as hell. And his fights are pretty fun to watch. He raw as fuck too. Like, he's definitely a really good fighter in this series. Dorian was fucking hilarious. He used to just be beating the shit out of niggas and just singing opera like notes for like. He used to just be singing opera songs, and they made his like. He was cool until they made his ass slow and stupid. But like, as a fighter, Dorian was a fucking menace. Nigga had like sharp wire he kept on him. He used to spit fire at niggas. It was a bunch of wild shit he did when he was fighting. Guvera got some funny ass scenes in this show, man. This nigga rolling up to them 3 niggas, I think it's tongue, teeth, and lips. And like that, the group name is like mouth. And those niggas was fighting Mike Tyson. He rolled up to them, folks bending that spoon, folks transforming in the middle of that Oliver fight. I like the whole pirate thing they had going on with him too. For it really showed his character, but he really didn't say much about it until like his transformation part. He had like the little, I think it was like a jar of wind or a bag of wind or some shit like that. I think it was a jar. And then that shit just made him transform. Like, it's some ridiculous shit, man. Guvera's definitely cool though. Spec funny as hell too. He was literally that scene where he was literally just standing there when Baki was trying to talk to his girl. He a weird, crazy ass nigga, but he's funny as hell, so he definitely gets a pass. Baki himself is a really great MC. He's chill, laid back until niggas fuck with him. Then he's a savage, which is like one of my favorite character archetypes, and I do mean savage. Like, Baki either be intimidating the fuck out of people, or he beating the fuck out of people. There's no in between. He rides for the people he loves. Him and his dad have a really fucked up relationship, but it's almost like he still finds ways to indirectly look up to that nigga, even though he did all that fucked up shit. And trust me, it's a very long list. Matter of fact, Yujiro Hanma. And where do I even start with this nigga? This nigga is an awful human being, but god damn it, is this nigga a funny motherfucker, dog. So this nigga is known as the world's strongest creature. Not the world's strongest man, world's strongest creature. Meaning that nothing on earth is stronger than this nigga. This nigga has fought an entire army and won. He beat Jack mom ass, then raped her. He killed Baki mom right in front of him. He abandoned both of his children because they weren't strong enough. He beat his kids ass. He once raped a nigga because he has so much testosterone that he sees every man as a woman. I think that got his booty did in, said that he never realized his inner womanhood gang. The crazy thing is, this nigga be standing there like he a proud father for, like, bro, you're awful human being, but I ain't gonna say that to your face and your vicinity, because you know I don't want to share folks' experience. Let me get to the next section, folks. This nigga's sick. Next, we're gonna talk about the looks, presentation, and the music. I'm not gonna lie, the look of this show was very weird to me at first. It's not even the animation; it was the art style. Usually in these shows with all these fighters and shit, you usually see some like regular looking niggas roaming around, but not in Baki, my nigga. Everybody just swole as hell, big muscly muscle neck motherfuckers. And that was just a phase though, like a long time ago. I got past it when I watched like the 3rd episode or something. It just felt weird to not see like any regular niggas in this show, or like barely see any regular niggas in this show. Side note, this show has a little bit of gore, nothing too crazy. Like you see broken bones, like deep lacerations, some broken jaws. Like I think Muhammad Ali Jr. tongue was like hanging off of a piece of his tongue was hanging off, but it ain't nothing like crazy. It's a little, maybe if you squeamish, maybe it'll bother you a little bit, but I think you'll be alright. Like this ain't too bad. But that Jack versus Muhammad Ali fight do get that is a pretty brutal beating, folks. And niggas do be getting beat up in this show, like pretty badly. So warning, if that triggers you. The animation for the show is pretty good. I mean, the fights aren't the flashiest, but there are a decent amount of cool ass shots in this show, and the fights look great overall. There's some CG early on in the show that look kind of ass, but I'm not gonna lie, once you get past that, you're in the clear. Even the CG in the Kyle Resu fight don't even look that bad in my opinion. It looks a little stiff, but it's not on the screen enough for me to like be like, damn, this show looks terrible. But someone's always gonna nitpick, so it is what it is. And on top of that, the fights are really over the top, super entertaining, creative, and fucking hilarious every single time. The music in this show, it serves its purpose. It's nothing really like super memorable. Usually when they put music in this show, like when niggas about to fight, or like little like set background pieces that's really just one-offs, they usually don't try to do anything like super crazy with it. The fight music is literally just like heavy guitars. It sounds good, but it's nothing like too memorable, or they don't really have like a huge focus on the music. And I can kind of see why. I mean, they trying to focus on the ridiculousness of the actual show itself, or what you're seeing on the screen. So I can see exactly why. The music serves a purpose. Like they didn't even have to do what they did. Like this is like bare minimum shit, but they didn't even have to do this, because I would still enjoy this show in my opinion. So I definitely appreciate what they did with the music in this show. This show is fucking hilarious, man. I rewatched this now, man, and this show is phenomenal. This show is phenomenal to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like the niggas that made this are funny as fuck. It's like they perfectly cater towards my stupidity, and I love it, man. This anime is phenomenal, bro. I can't say this enough. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. If you haven't noticed already, I really love when authors go wild and have fun with their work, and this anime specifically is the perfect example of that. It's so unpredictable. There's two things that you know you're gonna get when you watch this, and that's fights and funny. And if you have any, and I do mean any kind of sense of humor, you will not regret watching this one bit. Phenomenal show, bro. As always, man, have a good day. Peace.
Man, I'm glad Baki back, man. I am not disappointed in what they just gave us. We've seen a fair amount of wild stuff in Baki already. I mean, to name a few, we've seen a dude get his face ripped off with a nigga bare hands. We seen Oliver turn to Pac-Man, try to waka Baki to death. We seen niggas run on water. We seen niggas shoot themselves just to show that bullets don't work on them. We seen Guvera turn into a Samus ball and roll around the prison like it's a Metroid Prime level. A lot of crazy shit, right? So I really didn't know what they could possibly do to top that. But, bro, these niggas was having their mouth off. Like, whoa, pause, brother. Jack talking about, I want to see who had a stronger bite. Nah, Jack trying to put Pickle in Pickle for this nigga Yujiro making soldiers beat each other's ass without even saying anything. He just walking through glass for no reason. Pickle out here delicious niggas. Like, Baki got really wild this season. I was very wrong to doubt the imagination of the creators. This season was wild as hell. We got a lot of shit to talk about, so pull up a chair, let's chop it up. But before we get into it, as always, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button for more anime analysis and review videos just like this one. Also hit the notification bell. So, you know how we do things, right? We start off with the story. So we're gonna break this up and talk about both parts separately. So in the first half of this season, we got the Pickle arc. And to put it simply, the Pickle is this prehistoric freak of nature that used to fight dinosaurs with his bare hands back in the day. And honestly, and I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if the writers found a way to make Pickle Yujiro's son. I know what you're thinking. You like, Vaughn, that's stupid. Pickle's prehistoric. It wouldn't make sense for Pickle to be Yujiro's son. And you'd be spitting, in fact, if this was the real world. But this is Baki. And this is the same show where a nigga drunk sugar water and got his income boost. And considering the fact that Yujiro does whatever he wants, I think it's safe to say if Yujiro wants to be daddy, he gonna make himself daddy. I mean, ask that nigga Joe Williams. Alright. But anyway, in true Baki fashion, once word hit the streets that he unthawed, most of the cast pulled up expeditiously and indubitably to scout out the competition. Even the camouflage nigga was curious. He pulled up, and I thought I'd never see him again. But after a few murder attempts, a wild act of sexual assault committed out of nowhere, and a crazy censored silhouette of Pickle's meat that I didn't need to see and I don't know why they showed me, they set it up so Pickle fights a few opponents, and that's them in the basis of the Pickle arc. I think this definitely goes without saying, but Baki's still funny as hell. A lot of ridiculously funny shit happened during the Pickle arc, and they keep on finding ways to break the boundaries on how wild this show can actually get. Let's run through a few of them. So off rip, when this nigga Pickle woke up, this is already funny as hell because folks really up blick on Pickle, and he was like, now Pickle, you might not know this, but this is a B23 hour FMJ extended max. I was real surgical with this bitch back in the Black Ops 2 days, and I'm fully capable of fanning your big ass down. His ass was like, hold on player, this is a gun, or damn well Pickle didn't know what he was talking about. Doing all that talking trying to save his life. And actually, we got a live view of what was going on in Pickle's head during that sequence.
Winton.
Bro, I don't think a lot of people gonna talk about this, but this nigga Kyle Resu really need to be in the next Metal Gear Solid game. Cause how the fuck did they not see that big ass nigga breathing on the back of that soldier's neck? This soldier literally walked past one of his homies with this ass nigga strapped to his back. He got into Pickle's holding place just unnoticed. Like, folks big as hell. I don't know how they didn't see him. Yujiro walking through that glass definitely had me cackling. Cause bro, why are you doing that? And what made it 10 times funnier is the nigga that was holding the key out while he was doing it. He was like, bro, look at his face. He was like, bro, I can open it for you. Kyle Resu hitting that windmill fist after getting his ass cooked was definitely funny as hell. But what was even funnier was him talking to that damn Susanoo Resu and getting his courage back. This one of them shits that's like so stupid that I can't help but die laughing moments. And you get that a lot from Baki. This shit was great. By far, the wildest things that came from the Pickle arc was through Pickle. The bite off, insane. I still don't, honestly, when I went to go grab this clip, I still couldn't believe what I was looking at. And I already watched this twice. And the fact that Pickle just be sitting there emoting and crying when he be beating up niggas is so funny, dog. And not only do he be beating niggas, he be eating niggas. Nigga was nibbling on Kyle Resu's leg like it was a piece of cartoon mutton. My nigga, when I seen that, I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, this took a turn. It was actually pretty cool to see Dopo Orochi's son get a little redemption arc, cause man, folks ass was getting cooked in the previous season. His fight against Pickle was really good, and it's surprising to see that they use an underutilized character like him and made him super important to the arc. I actually really like that. The second half of the season was what we all wanted from that final battle between Baki and Yujiro. They did not disappoint one bit. Everything was goated here. The fight, the actual build up to the fight, and the conclusion were all great. This fight definitely shows Baki's like best storyteller in the series. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, there's only 2 reactions I have when I'm watching Baki, and that's usually, what the fuck did folks just do? And hysterical laughter. There's nothing in between. But here, they really made this whole arc feel so grand. So I felt stuff like sadness, and like, I got a couple crooked smiles of some really wholesome ass moments too. And you heard that. Wholesome moments in Baki. That's unheard of. You get to smile at shit like Yujiro and Baki actually spending quality time together. Like Yujiro teaching Baki table manners and shit. Even though he's still a horrible person, you get to see that Yujiro like love his son somehow, and Baki love his dad somehow. The little cooking dinner part at the end was so raw because he showed the whole country that, like, I admit defeat. He even gave Baki the title of World Strongest right in front of everybody. They definitely did not skip out on the funny though. Cause man, this whole shit was still funny as hell. They definitely got some of the funniest moments in the series here, so let's talk about a couple of them. Them niggas having political meetings about the father-son fight was so funny. And it made it even funnier because that one nigga ain't know about Yujiro. He had to let folks know that, hey, Yujiro got a peace treaty with the entire United States, folks. That nigga was utterly flabbergasted. He didn't know how to respond to that, bro. That shit was so crazy. Them using that car to break that fall after that 400-foot descent from that skyscraper was funny as hell too. I never heard a nigga call a luxury car a cushion. But if I expected anyone to drop a line like that, it would definitely be Yujiro. This last moment, damn near the funniest moment in the entire series. Gang, when Kozue tried to get in the middle of that fight, at first that shit blew me, but I understood where she was coming from, so I was just chilling. I just let it go. But then she was like, I'm not moving. Folks, not a second later, them niggas was like, anyways. Nigga, whole house had to hear me cackling, because they did not care one bit about her being there. They just kept throwing them bitches. Fuck. When I tell you, folks, like, Baki really blacked out this season. Baki did 2 things that I thought they couldn't do this season. They found a way to make this shit even funnier, and they actually showed us that they can actually tell a story and throw up some serious shit that'll actually hit you in the feels. And let's be really honest with each other. You weren't prepared for it, because this is Baki, and this show doesn't do that, but it does it very well in this season. It's kind of wild. Now let's move on to characters and character interactions. So it's really the same cast of characters, so I won't go through all of them again. But there's 3 characters that I want to talk about in particular. That's Pickle himself, Kasumi, and Yujiro, because they're probably the 3 most significant characters in this season. Pickle was a really good addition to the show, I'm not gonna lie. It's always fun to see what they come up with when they introduce new characters, and having this like prehistoric nigga who don't know nothing but the predator and prey mentality, and having him kind of learn a little bit as he fights like the niggas in the show and learn martial arts and shit was a really good idea. A hats off to y'all for even coming up with that. And after the first half, we really ain't even get to see like how fully strong Pickle was. And I think that's really cool that he's still like an anomaly in the universe type shit. Kasumi was actually super surprising because he was damn near Yamcha before this. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about him getting an important role in this arc, but after the second watch, I think I'm cool with it. It was kind of refreshing to see him actually put up a good fight, so I definitely respect him more. Nah, Yujiro's switch up is insane this season. This nigga Yujiro out here being a good father to his son while beating the shit out of him. I am absolutely perplexed. He's teaching Baki table etiquette. He having dinner with him. He admitted defeat. He damn near unrecognizable by the end of this show. And I think that's so cool because for so long, he's been this monster that doesn't care about anyone but himself. We see in this season, but that's not true. He loves Baki, even though they were beating the brakes off each other. The love is still there. There's more character under that big ass back. And I definitely appreciate the show for showing us that. They did a great job at upholding the mainstays while introducing a new character and even giving shine to an unlikely unsung hero type shit. Good job. Really good job. Let's move on to looks, presentation, and music. The fights look really good, as they should. They haven't really had a bad looking scene since that nasty ass CGI shot of Dory here. Ugh. But all the fights this season were pretty dope, especially the final fight between Baki and Yujiro. Really amazing job. Definitely the best looking fight in the entire series, as it should be. Y'all delivered. Like, no complaints over here. Really good job. They stepped up on the music too, because Baki music was kind of forgettable before this, but there's some music in there that's actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't liked too many of the opening songs of Baki, but the opening for the second half of the second season, heat. Overall, I think this season of Baki was extremely impressive. Not only did they uphold and deliver the normal stuff, like the fights and the ridiculous shit, they really managed to break the boundaries and still keep that creatively stupid thing going while making it even funnier. And they detoured from the norm and gave us a good build-up and a great conclusion to the Yujiro versus Baki fight. It's very safe to say that this is the best season of Baki, easily. You're gonna get everything you expect out of Baki times 10, and you're gonna get things that you don't expect and you're still gonna love them. If you haven't watched Baki yet, please do yourself a favor. It's some of the funniest anime out there. Like, it really only gets better. This season was amazing. Hats off to everybody that worked on this. Y'all did a really amazing job. But that's all from me, gang. As always, man, have a great day. Love y'all, man. Peace.